A newly released ITV trailer reveals the dramatic moment Betsy Swain Sidney Martin is taken to hospital in Coronation Street. Betsy has endured a heartbreaking few years, beginning with the tragic death of her boyfriend Mason Radcliffe Luca Tulin, who was killed in a knife attack before learning that her mother Becky, Amy Cudden, long believed to be dead, was actually alive. Becky later attempted to win back her former wife, Lisa Vicky Myers. During her desperate plan, she locked Lisa's partner, Carla Connor Allison King, inside an airing cupboard before forcing her into a shipping container. Convinced Carla no longer wanted to be with her, Lisa was ready to leave Weatherfield and start a fresh chapter overseas with Becky and Betsy. After Becky's criminal actions came to light, it appeared the Connor Swain family could finally look forward to a brighter future. Yet their newly married life is far from peaceful, with the shocking murder that occurred on their wedding night perhaps serving as an early warning that darker times still lay ahead. The couple's run of bad luck continues next week when Betsy is discovered unconscious on the kitchen floor after she and boyfriend Dylan Wilson Liam McCheyne prepare spaghetti together. The trailer shows paramedics rushing Betsy to Weatherfield General Hospital, where she later suffers a seizure shortly after undergoing an MRI scan. Lisa and Becky remain at Betsy's bedside, anxiously waiting for news, but as recent spoilers have revealed, Detective Lisa becomes determined to uncover who is behind her daughter's sudden medical emergency. So what caused Betsy to collapse, and why does Lisa become convinced Dylan is to blame? Dylan appears completely confused by the situation and happily shows Lauren Bolton, Kate Fitton, and Brody Michaelis Ryan Mulvey the thoughtful presents he has bought to cheer Betsy up during her stay in hospital. Although Betsy begs her mother not to accuse Dylan, Lisa's suspicions only intensify. Sean Tully, Anthony Cotton, also grows worried when Dylan refuses his suggestion that they visit Betsy together, while Lisa later publicly blames the teenager for what happened to her daughter. Determined to take action, Lisa then goes to the police station to officially report the incident. Lauren later breaks the news to Dylan that Betsy doesn't want to see him, leaving him devastated. Shortly afterwards, FizDob's Jenny McAlpin watches in disbelief as police officers arrest Dylan in the precinct, while Betsy is horrified to discover her own mother was behind the decision. The drama takes another twist when Dylan insists that Brody, not him, was actually responsible for Betsy's collapse. As accusations continue to fly, the question remains, how will Brody and Betsy react when the blame shifts once again? Coronation Street's Sarah admits to killing Theo after Kit's marriage proposal. Sarah Platt's shocking secret finally comes to light in next week's Coronation Street when she confesses to Kit Green that she killed Theo Silverton moments after he asks her to marry him. Following an unsuccessful first proposal, Kit plans a romantic surprise lunch in the hope of making his second attempt unforgettable. While he dreams of a future together as husband and wife, Sarah is overwhelmed by the fear that prison could still be her fate. Unable to carry the burden any longer, she reveals that she was responsible for Theo's death. Actress Tina O'Brien, who plays Sarah, explained, "Sarah knows that if Kit discovers the truth, everything falls apart, not only their relationship, but also his career." She continued, "Kit would be forced into an impossible situation. He would either have to arrest the woman he loves or compromise his integrity as a police officer. The moment Sarah tells him the truth, the perfect future he imagined for them is gone." At the beginning of the week, Kit notices Maria Connor and Gary Windus arguing in the street, strengthening his belief that they are both concealing something important. He shares his suspicions with Lisa Connor Swain, who quickly reminds him that he is no longer assigned to the investigation. Elsewhere, Sarah wrestles with the urge to tell the truth, but she knows that confessing could also drag Gary into serious legal trouble. Tina added, "Sarah no longer knows how she's supposed to act, and she's reaching the end of her tether. The thought of marrying Kit while keeping such an enormous secret is becoming unbearable. Part of her wants to confess everything, while another part desperately hopes he never learns the truth." Coronation Street's Tina O'Brien hints Sarah could face a nightmare behind bars as Gary risks taking the blame. Coronation Street star Tina O'Brien has opened up about the dramatic consequences awaiting Sarah Platt after she admits to killing Theo Silverton, while suggesting that Gary Windus could ultimately be made the fall guy. Viewers recently discovered that Sarah was responsible for Theo's death after accidentally killing him, with former partner Gary helping to hide what had happened. Meanwhile, Detective Kit Green, who has been leading the murder investigation, remains convinced that Gary is the culprit. However, next week's episodes see Sarah finally confess the truth to Kit, leaving her future hanging in the balance. Discussing what lies ahead, Tina admitted Sarah could be heading for an extremely difficult time if she ends up in prison. She also suggested that Kit's determination to solve the case could leave Gary wrongly carrying the blame for the killing. Reflecting on Sarah's emotional dilemma, Tina explained that the character is completely conflicted. While one side of her desperately wants to be honest with Kit, another is terrified of the consequences if he learns the truth. Sarah knows how deeply Kit loves her and genuinely wants a future with him, despite some viewers believing she belongs with Gary instead. She also feels overwhelmed with guilt after accidentally discovering that Kit had planned to propose, making the situation even more heartbreaking. According to Tina, Sarah is finding it impossible to enjoy the prospect of marriage while hiding such a devastating secret. The pressure has become unbearable, leaving her emotionally exhausted and close to breaking point. Sarah fully understands that revealing the truth would destroy everything. Not only would it end her relationship with Kit, but it could also ruin his career by forcing him to choose between arresting the woman he loves or compromising his duties as a police officer. In Sarah's mind, confessing means the perfect future Kit imagined for them would disappear forever. The character is also carrying an enormous amount of self-blame, believing the entire situation is her fault. For the first time, she has even begun questioning Gary's actions. Although he has supported her throughout the ordeal, she now wonders whether he should have encouraged her to hand herself in instead of helping conceal the crime and sharing the burden. Rather than celebrating what should be one of the happiest moments of her life, Sarah is consumed by guilt and shame. She fears Kit will feel especially betrayed if he discovers Gary knew the truth while he was kept completely in the dark. Although Sarah truly loves Kit and wants to build a life with him, she worries that once he learns what happened, she may have to persuade him not to report her to the police. Coronation Street airs weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX.